Yo, what is up? I am super excited to be here doing this live react. I am so excited for this chapter. I have heard that in the spoiler community, we've basically been told not to read spoilers. So that's very rare when a chapter is that good that even the spoiler community is like, we're not spoiling this. So I'm super excited. I also have some other exciting news. I'm not sure if Larry has talked about it on that One Piece Talk yet, but for the next chapter, Larry from that One Piece Talk has invited me to review the chapter with him live for a live reaction, and I'm so incredibly excited for that. Like, that was one of the main people that, pushed me to do content creation and stuff like that. So to be able to do stuff with him, like I've done a few videos in the past, just means the world. So I'm super excited for that. So make sure to tune in on that One Piece Talks YouTube channel for the next chapter review, because I will be there. But I also have some TikToks and stuff planned, but I'm also doing home renovation stuff, so I'm trying to balance my time. But I am super excited for this chapter, so I am going to jump right in. All right, let's check this out. All right, chapter 1097. Let's see here. Okay. The chapter is Ginny. And very interesting. This is kind of a weird thing because we're actually getting a cover page of something that is like, it's a cover request, but it's similar to something that's like happening currently in the story. It's like Kuma's flashback, but we're also getting Kuma catching a salmon in a river. So that's super interesting. And Ginny is there. So very interesting. Okay, so that's pretty cool. But it looks like he's just kind of like bubbling them away. So it's like, can you catch fish like that? Who knows? So let's look at Oda's notes. He says, I was pretty shocked when I realized Io-san from Zune was the man behind La Okaki. I just can't get that comedy duo out of my head. Interesting. Oda is a huge fan of comedy, so I get it. I very much get it. So, okay. So God Valley was 38 years ago. This says 8 years after the God Valley incident, so 30 years ago. It says, in the kingdom of Sorbet in the South Blue. Very interesting. Please help me, Kumachi. I've been coming here since your pa was around. It came as a nasty shock when you all went and disappeared on us, but it's comforting to know you grew into such a sweet boy. Your parents did a great job. I'm sure they're so proud of you becoming a bona fide clergyman. Interesting. The fact that like he carried around the Bible makes a lot of sense now. Pastor Bartholomew Kuma, 17 years old. There are hardly any youngins left in this country these days. It's no wonder we're getting poorer and poorer. And he's like pushing the like pain out of an old lady, saying, what a relief, I feel so much better, bless you. This is crazy. He's like been doing it to all these old people. And then there's another old guy that says, me next, my hips are killing me. Yo, this is kind of wild. And then there's more old people. We can't thank you enough. God bless your miracle hands. Can't you do this on weekdays too? And someone says, fat chance, Sundays only. Sounds like somebody. Where do you freeloading old bags get off asking for even more help? Ha ha ha, we've gotten the attention of little Miss Cheapskate. Quit flapping your gums, this isn't a nursing home. I tell you to wash your mouth out if you weren't such a cutie pie. I heard there's no end to the number of suitors that come knocking on her door. Don't change the subject. Ginny, 21 years old. Damn, she looks a lot like Bonnie. None of them have a chance with her, Kumachi. Here, just look into that calm face of his. Enough is to comfort anyone. You're too kind, says Kuma. You're the one who's too kind. To tell you the truth, we'd love to donate and support our Kumachi, but we've all been struggling just to meet the celestial tribute recently. Damn. These guys are getting fucked every step of the way. I'm sure you've heard about our new king, right? They say King Bakori is a cold-hearted monster. He's hell-bent on paying the tribute, and he doesn't care about whether us old farts are too sick to contribute. If we can't, they'll lock us up. He's the worst. The other day, an acquaintance of mine ended up starving to death in their cell. Can you believe that? Damn. That miserly king of ours won't even feed his prisoners. He's even more of a cheapskate than you, Ginny. Yet he's happy to bend over backwards for the celestial dragons. If we don't stay in good health, we're gonna get killed. Then Kuma says, I can get rid of any pain or mild illness you need me to. So please visit every week. Thanks so much, Kumachi. Oh no. And then all the pain and sickness and ailments is just sitting there. And he goes, huff. And he just fucking puts his hands in and starts bleeding everywhere and crying out in agony. And he just hits the ground and is just all beaten the fuck up. And Ginny is just crying. She says they have no idea you're taking on any of their pain, Kumachi, and you keep doing this week after week. It can't be helped. If someone doesn't shoulder their burdens, that pain and suffering of theirs won't disappear. It'll be left to fester, returning to haunt them again and again. More than anything, I'm just glad I can do something to help them feel happier. I'm sorry for putting you through this, though. I'll get tougher so you won't have to worry. Dude, this guy's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's not the point, Ginny says. Kuma says, hey, we got a little food as thanks today. Let's eat up. Ginny says, woohoo, dinner time. And they're eating. And it says, 25 years ago when Kuma was 22. Hey, Kumachi, let's get married. Huh? We can't. What the hell's with that reaction? Of course we can. You love me, right? Just admit it, you dope. Wouldn't it make you happy? I'm sure it would, but the thing is... And then we get a flashback of Kuma's dad, Clap. Just take me. I'm the one with the Buccaneer blood. My wife is normal. Please let her and my son go. Kuma says, I don't want to make you unhappy. Look at this. It's another article about those freedom fighters. They finally issue wanted posters for them after they incited riots in several countries. Dragon. He's so cool. He's like a hero. One day I want to head out to sea and dedicate my life to saving people too. Hello, is anyone home? Ginny, our sweet muse. We had a massive haul today. Please, help yourself. Thanks so much, Mr. Fishmonger. And he gets hit in the back of the head with a thing. And Ginny's like, idiot. Then 22 years ago, something major happened. The people you've kidnapped, let them go. Save us, Kumachi. What are you yelling about, you big oaf? Are you trying to pick a fight with the royal army? That's treason, you know. He's apparently a pastor from some church in the southern province. Castletown, the kingdom of Sorbet. Okay, I see this. Yo, this is fucking crazy, dude. Like, Kuma has had a crazy life. Like, oh my god. Like, he's done so much. And taken on so many people's pain and everything else. And he meets, like, he sees a picture of Dragon. Hey, Pastor, didn't you hear about the new law? We're allowed to do whatever we want to you Southerners. You're planning on enslaving them? I won't let this pass. And he just uses the, like, Ursa shock, it looks like, and just blows the army away. And someone says, he's a rebel. My liege, this new policy, the people might find it hard to swallow. It is of no consequence. They'll soon grow accustomed to their new status before long. It won't bother them. They'll all come to see the Southerners for the vermin they are. Wow. From this day forward, the borders of Sorbet shall stop at the edge of the northern province. The amount of celestial tribute is decided by a country's population, you see. Will no longer be weighed down by all the old fossils in the south. We must cut out this cancer so the fittest of this glorious nation can thrive. In jail, Kuma is sitting. Tell me what made them arrest you too. We raised hell trying to get them to free you, Kumachi. But they gave us a thrashing in the end. Ginny, this damn country. Holy, this is where it happens. Ginny, this country is on the brink of becoming a cesspool of bigotry and hate. King Bakori is a celestial dragon puppet. This new policy was given to him from on high. If you plan on starting a rebellion, you'll be signing up to fight the world government as well. And there's an explosion. Who are these guys? Gah, Your Majesty, we must flee. As if we would let you escape. This is what you get, you wannabe celestial dragon. Dragon says, you make me sick. The king's been overthrown. His slavery laws are no more. Thank goodness. I hated that this country was. Thank goodness. I hated what this country was becoming. And so this mysterious band saved the kingdom of Sorbet from the corruption of the world government. Looks like the man you recommended went on quite the rampage. You're going to love him, Dragon. Kuma, Ginny, I see you've gone and gotten yourselves caught. Lucky for you, I was in the neighborhood. No way, big bro. Is that you, Eva-chan? And the man you're with, isn't he? Kuma, if you're still anything like you used to be, how about coming with us and changing the world? Yo, this is crazy. Yo, no way. This is how it happened? The onset of the Great Pirate Era and the tragedy of Ohara spurred these freedom fighters to take up arms against the corrupt regimes of the world, starting numerous insurrections. It didn't take long for the two pillars of this movement to become three, as Dragon Ivankov recruited Kuma to their case. This organization would adopt a new name, one that echoed around the world: the Revolutionary Army. This is crazy. Hold on. Let's take a look at some of these people. So it looks like that one to the right of Dragon looks like Bello Betty. Kind of. There's one with a mask, but I don't think that's Karasu. Anyway, let's keep it going. This is so crazy right now. Like, I'm loving every second of this, though. Like, finding out how this even started. Seeing Dragon, he does have like a military style uniform on. He's got like 3 stars on his chest. It is interesting though, because the 3 people who got caught with Ginny looked like at least 2 of them were the ones that Kuma originally like used his paw power on. I'm interested to see how this goes. Dragon says, we're still lacking funds. For now, we must act like mercenaries, supporting those who already have a will to topple their monarchs, fueling their rebellious spirits. All our recruits get weapons training drilled into them. I want us to grow into a boundless army spread throughout the world. Where did you learn about weapons, Dragon? Whoa. Yo, this is crazy. Oh my god. It's true. Where did you learn about weapons, Dragon? I spent some time with the Navy. He was a Marine. Oh, yo. Oh my god, this is so crazy. Unfortunately, I found no justice there. Yo, that's so good. Oh man. Marine or revolutionary, he's a man determined to help others. Kuma says, you can rely on me, Dragon. You won't regret joining us. To Kuma. That's what Dragon says. I'll be, look who's back. I'll be coming home every now and then. I worry about you all. You're so sweet, Kumachi. and thus another 8 years would pass. The sun would continue to rise and set like normal until 14 years ago, a certain kingdom. You look excited, Ginny. Isn't that obvious? Can you blame me, though? Captain of the Revolutionary Army Eastern Forces, Ginny. We're so close to the day where we get to link up with Kumachi's squadron. I'm so happy I can hardly breathe. Captain Kuma, that lucky dog. He's won the heart of the lady we all admire. Huh? You creeps admire me? Gross. Your words sting. Revolutionary headquarters, Baltigo. Dragon-san, Dragon-san. Ginny's been captured. The enemy took us by surprise. Please forgive us. And, oh man. Bonnie has to be a clone. Bonnie is probably a clone. There's so much here. So Kuma kept visiting them while also fighting for freedom. And he found out the dragon was a Marine, which is a fucking crazy revelation. Like, this is crazy. And Ivankov, him, and Dragon were all fighting. And up until $14 years ago is when Dragon must have got his tattoo, because beforehand when he is in So 22 years ago is when he got captured. So then 8 years passed, so he would have been 33. And it would have been 2, 6. So then 14 years ago, right? 14 years ago, Kuma would have got captured and Dragon wouldn't have had his tattoo. But then 14 years ago, and then 14 years is when he must have gotten his tattoo, because he has his tattoo then. So 14 years ago, that means Luffy would have been a few years old. So he would have already had his son at that point where he got his tattoo. This is crazy cool, though. Yo, this is a crazy revelation, though. The fact that we were right and Dragon was in the Revolutionary Army, but he was also a Marine. And I love what he says here. The fact that it's like, where did you learn about weapons? He said, I spent some time with the Navy. By the time Kuma would have seen him, this is just insanity. Just fucking pure insanity. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Because this just gave us so much. One, Kuma's backstory, hands down, already probably top one. Probably one of the best backstories I've ever heard. Like, the whole thing where he's trying to basically, like, if we just dial it back here for a second. One, Ginny Busty. But, the fact that he took on all of those people's pain and, like, she couldn't even bear to look while he did that. And then he screams out and then she takes care of him afterwards. Shiru won. And then, just the introduction of Dragon and like all the people being so nice and him finally finding his voice, his power, and fighting back. Man, so good. He even gets jailed for it. And then he joins the Revolutionary Army after suffering through all that, being like a pastor and everything. And then, the three of them, the three biggest fucking threats in the Revolutionary Army are just that good, dude. That good. And just like, they decide they're setting out to help people. They're recruiting people. They have weapons training drilled into them. They're recruiting. They want the army to grow boundlessly, spread throughout the world. And then that revelation of him being in the army is just like, or with the Navy, is just so cool. It's so cool. I'm so hype. And Dragon said, this is so crazy. He says to Kuma, you won't regret joining us. But that's exactly what happens, because he wasn't there to protect Jenny. Oda's on another level, dude. With the way he's writing this. He gets to visit them. And, then he's like, oh, I'll come visit you again. Then 14 years ago, she's so happy. She's ready to see Kuma. And somebody fucking steps into the light. This is so good. This color panel of all of the revolutionaries. I do wonder if that one guy is Karasu with the mask on. Like, he's just got a regular mask. Also looks like Bello Betty to the right of Karasu's look-alike. There are a few other unnamed people that, like, they might be different people that have joined the revolutionaries, but they kind of seem like no names at first. But I hope maybe we do get more information on that. But man, this is so good. I love this chapter. And no break week, so that means next week, dude, we get another one. I'm so excited. Like, This is superb. This is superb. I'm with it 150%. Like, this is what's up. Man, that chapter is crazy. I don't think Ginny's making it out, though. I think this is the thing that sets Kuma over the edge. And this is what turns his eyes white and kind of doesn't have an expression and a smile anymore, is losing Ginny. And the only thing that he has left is Bonnie. When Bonnie gets cloned by Vegapunk. And I think that's when Kuma decides that he's going to do whatever it takes to bring down the government. And I think that that's him giving up his humanity because he doesn't want it anymore, because he lost one of the only things that he cares about, even though he, he lost one of the only things that he cared about. And then on top of it all, it was just grueling to live after that. He was forsaking his humanity, and he got rid of it, but he still wanted, a daughter. He wanted to make Bonnie happy. This is just absolutely crazy. This chapter was so good. I'm gonna be honest. This to me, this chapter was an 8.5 out of 10. It didn't give me a ton of theories outside of Dragon was a Marine. I don't think he was an admiral now, because if he said I spent some time with the Marines, then he wasn't as notable to have made it to that status. And well, let's see. So 30 years ago. So when he was, let's do a little math, shall we? So 38 years ago was God Valley. So 38 plus, and Dragon would have been 17. So he's 55 in current time. So if we minus 8, 17, and then we add 8, he would have been 25. So Kuma was 17 when Dragon was 25. So he was 17. And then so when Kuma was 22, which means that 5 years had passed, so plus 5, he would have been 30. And then so then plus 2 years would have been, Dragon would have been 32 when Kuma, well, he was 30 when he's like Dragon. He's so cool. He's like a hero. So he had already become a revolutionary at this point. He would have been the freedom fighters at the age of 30. So that means if he would have joined when he was 17, more realistically, he didn't join before God Valley. I mean, I don't know though. He could have easily. So I mean, he would have had, possibly 13 years in. So I mean, could he have made Admiral in 13 years? I don't know. He would have had to have been something spectacular to have done that. But then when they finally find him, he would have been 32. So and then another 8 years passed, he would have been 40 when Ginny was captured. That's just crazy. The timeline's wild. Because Luffy would have already been born. If it was 14 years ago, Luffy would have been... He would have been 5. Wow. This is just crazy. But, yeah. So, overall, I think the chapter's an 8.5. I think maybe if we would have just gotten a tiny bit more information. Like, we got information on how things kind of went with Kuma. But, like, getting some of the reveals about the revolutionaries and stuff like that was cool. I just want to know when he gets back to... You know what? I think I get it now. Listen, mark my words here. Kuma goes back to this place and he destroys the king. He just rampages through there and takes the kingdom for himself. We don't know that he actually ever freed the country. You know, like, and then so when he left Sorbet, it even says right here, 14 years ago, a certain kingdom. It doesn't even say what kingdom. Wait a minute. Hold on, I got something crazy. Okay, so this means that 14 years ago... maybe not. Okay, so I think the context for Ginny is that she's in the east somewhere. Okay, so that is interesting. Just because for some reason I thought, and this still may be like relevant when it comes to the freedom fighters and what they did. What if Belmere was fighting the Revolutionary Army in whatever country they were in, and that's where she found Nami? So, like, in this context, 14 years ago, Nami would have been 6, but when she was found, she was just a baby, so maybe not. But it could have been because of the Revolutionary Army that something happened, or Nami's mom could have been part of the Revolutionary Army. You just never quite know. But this is just absolutely insane, because I was looking here and like looking at her with that gun and stuff like that just reminded me of Belmere and her gun, and that's just interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, like, I mean, it honestly, like, there could be so many different links here when it comes to the Revolutionary Army and stuff that they've done that could lead to Nami's backstory being actually explained. Now, you never quite know. But the fact that someone is showing up wherever she's at means that there's probably someone really strong there. I think that it was probably somebody from the world government. And I think we eventually get to the point where the rival... Yeah, she definitely... I mean, well, even still, she looks a lot like Lilith and York. And the fact that she has, like, a bone sticking out of her mouth, like... What's really interesting though is Ginny does very much look like she could be Luffy's mom, except for the freckles. The freckles are very York. So I don't know. There's just so much. I really want to see the official coloring of Ginny because I want to see what her hair color is, because then that's how a lot of theories come together. But yeah, I love this so far. This backstory is going to be like top one in the verse until we get more, which, you know, dragons might be top one, you know, God Valley could be everything else, even Atlas to some degree, her rage, wrath. Yeah, honestly, like, at least, you know, Lilith, York, and Atlas all kind of are spinning images of Ginny, as well as Bonnie herself. So this is just, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. And like I said, the people in the cage that were next to Ginny, that were like laughing after, you know, what happened, they look like the people that Kuma healed. So like there's just so much that goes with it. And they even look like the people that were on Bonnie's crew. So like, what are we doing? Like, I need to know what's going on here. But yeah, I love this so far. This is fantastic. I'm so excited for next chapter. But yeah, 8.5. Solid 8.5. Almost a 9. It's teetering to 9 for me. Just because of how much I'm enjoying this flashback and how tugging on the heartstrings it is. So yeah, I've really enjoyed this. This is fantastic. So I appreciate One Piece Finals coming in. Miguel, I love when you guys come in. I'm missing Lonely Mage though. He always shows up for me. And usually TJ as well. But maybe they'll come through afterwards. They might be busy. I know it's Friday night. I'm going into a weekend of work. But next weekend I will have off, which makes me very happy. But don't forget to like the stream. I really appreciate it. It helps out. You know, try and get, you know, a few more people to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers. It's not much, but I'm shooting for the stars with it. So yeah, I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers. I'm trying to reach 600 followers on TikTok. So I'm shooting for all these things. But remember, so next weekend I will not be doing my live reaction to the chapter because I will be a guest on that One Piece Talks chapter review for chapter 1098, which I am so excited for. So it's going to be me and Larry and probably some other guests. And we're just going to be reading and live reacting and see what type of craziness happens, because usually Oda doesn't do more than 3 chapters at a clip. So what will most likely happen is we'll have next chapter and then we'll have a break week. So you know that he loves to leave off chapters on like crazy cliffhangers and drops crazy info before a break. So I'm absolutely like stoked for next week. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Make sure to go over to that One Piece Talk. They just hit 70K subscribers. They're doing phenomenal. And I'm just happy to be a part of the stream. So hopefully maybe Mosh, Chestnut, Hime, Anime Sundays, all those guys. Hopefully we can get them all in there. I don't care. It'd be so much fun. And it'll just be a great time. So make sure to come through for that next weekend too. Because I can't wait to have those conversations, talk about theories and all that other stuff, you know. And I'm going to drop my line on them just like I'm about to drop it here. You know, I always say One Piece is better as a conversation. And I truly believe that, and I can't wait to have more of those conversations, especially with other content creators. So I appreciate you guys for coming through. Thank you for liking the stream. And I will see you next time, not here, but on their channel. So thank you very much. Have a good night. Jana.